the sounds of those Pratt & Whitney R1340 radial engines at power as they have now been cleared into the box. Now, from behind and to our right, those North American SNJ Navy training airplanes, World War II. Please give a big low country welcome to Chris C.T. Thomas and Mike Buick-Eberhardt. They are Warbird Thunder. And now from the right, for one of the most basic aerobatic maneuvers, the big old Barnstormer's Loop, performed for the first time back in 1913. Formation flying is a skilled art demanding discipline and trust, and is designed to allow a group of aircraft to operate in close proximity to one another with a high degree of safety. And in order to deconflict and ensure that level of safety, the aircraft joining on or flying off one another, they have to have separation in all three axes. And during this performance today, the majority of the Warbird Thunder display will consist of only about 3 to 4 feet of separation between these nearly 3-ton World War II trainers. We're going to watch now to the left as the smoke comes back on for their next maneuver, one that is part loop as it is part roll. It's the barrel roll, a maneuver flown since the 1930s as a cornerstone of military flight training. During the 1940s that military aviators had a couple of different nicknames for the SNJ. They often called it the pilot maker. The Terrible Texan was another because it trained thousands of American airmen during World War II. The Army Air Corps and the Air Force, they called the Texan the AT-6. The Navy, the SNJ, and the British Commonwealth countries, they named the airplane the Harvard. 3 different names, all the same aircraft. And these 2 airplanes that we're seeing today were built in Inglewood, California, the North American Aviation Company. And over 15,000 have been produced during the time of about 1935 and the mid-1950s. Inbound now from the right. The formation has changed as Mike Buick-Eberhardt in number 2 has transitioned into the close trail formation as they set up for this, the aileron roll. A big wave for Jerry Conley coming down the line, making his way back to his parking area. The United States phased out the Texan SNJ from military service by about the mid-1950s, but countless foreign air forces continued to fly the type, and it was in fact that the last AT-6 or SNJ was retired in 1995 from the South African Air Force after an incredible 60 years of military service. We're going to see now what is called the line abreast loop. The wingman on the right, Mike Beaufort, is going to have his sole focus on the aircraft, and he will do his best to stay perfectly aligned while staying synchronized on the leaders throughout this full 360 degree loop. Challenging formation maneuvers to fly and to fly well. Let's again put our hands together for Warbird Thunder. CT is in the lead today. He resides from Virginia Beach, Virginia. He's a third-generation aviator and learned to fly when he was just 17 years old. His father, a naval aviator, his flight instructor. CT earned the majority of his flight time as an instructor, towing banners, even flying charter and freight. He's been flying for over 38 years. Flying number 2 today is Mike Buick-Everhart. He's from Miami, Florida. He's been flying for more than 45 years. He actually got his start flying when he was 14, flying gliders and powered aircraft by age 17. He's a graduate from Daniel Webster College and is a retired naval aviator with some 20 years experience flying both the mighty A4 Skyhawk and the F-14 Tomcat. Today, both CT and Buick are airline captains and instructors at major airlines. In this next maneuver, we're going to watch them now as they trade that altitude for airspeed and dive in once again. This next maneuver, one that is dedicated to the men and women of our United States military and to those family members who support them. In this tribute, this is Warbird Thunder's salute to those who serve. Believe it or not, that sound that we are hearing is actually not so much that of the engine, but rather the propeller tips going supersonic at around 2,400 RPM. The left and the right, they will reposition once again as they set up for their opposing pass with airspeeds reaching about 400 miles an hour closure. Warbird Thunder wants to extend a big thank you to Paul Gleaton. He's the maintenance and ground support operation for the team. Paul's an FAA licensed airframe and power plant mechanic and also a private pilot. And he spent over 30 years as a professional firefighter and paramedic. He was also a member of Virginia FEMA Task Force 2, responding to natural disasters and national disasters as an expert in building collapse, confined space, and high-angle rescue. We say thanks to Paul Gleaton as the team repositions once again. Wants to personally thank the Beaufort Airshow team for the invitation to fly for you here this weekend. And they are proud to fly and support our military, our veterans, and their families. The SNJ, both rugged and durable. These SNJ-2s actually built in 1942 and 1945 respectively, and they are over 80 years old. We're going to watch them now from the right. And again, listen to the sounds of those R1340 600 horsepower radial engines. A 9-foot diameter propeller working to push these airplanes through the sky. Flying just a few feet apart, Not an easy feat in these nearly 3-ton World War II trainers. Let's again put our hands together for the pilots of Warbird Thunder. During the 1940s, when these advanced trainers were on the cutting edge of flight training, they are indeed two-seat aircraft with dual controls both in the front and the back. A maximum speed of about 240 miles an hour, and again powered by the 9-cylinder R1340 radial style. Appreciate your support on social media, where you can find some great pictures of the team, watch an exciting in-flight video, and see behind the scenes of what it takes to make an airshow team fly. You can check them out on Facebook, Instagram, and on TikTok at Warbird Thunder. They're going to be setting up from behind and to our right to set up for their photo pass, so be sure to get your cameras out and at the ready, as this will be one of your finest opportunities today to capture these 80-year-old World War II trainers on your cameras. They're going to be working their way in again from the right. And CT in the lead will stand it up on one wing, giving you a great look right down to the cockpit of these airplanes. Noisy airplanes indeed. We talk a lot about stealth technology and the ability to be covert and quiet in all sorts of regimes. Not the case during the 1940s, and particularly with these radial engines. Well, right now, ladies and gentlemen, as and we're off. Out there, oh, close but no cigar. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? A big round of applause for Eric Nelson and the team at Precision Exotics. You too can drive a couple of their vehicles that they've got here on site for as low as $199, and actually do a 200-mile-an-hour runway shot if you'd like to. You can check out their location located down to Airshow left. Well, as we get the Warbird Thunder team recovered, another big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Chris C.T. Thomas and Mike Buick Overhart. What a performance indeed. We want to say thanks to many community partners who have stepped up to make this weekend possible. We want to say thanks to TL and CO, located locally here in Beaufort County. They are a value-add distributing and kitting company supplying electronic components and their family station here in Beaufort. For more than 100 years, Pratt & Whitney has designed, produced, and delivered dependable engines to the U.S. military and its allies. Pratt & Whitney is proud to be the exclusive propulsion provider for the F-35 Lightning II. Pratt & Whitney, go beyond. And also thanks to loved ones and home care proudly support our military, where they believe everyone deserves to feel safe, respected, and cared for in the comfort of their own home. Whether it's a senior, someone recovering from an illness, or a family member who just needs a little extra help, their compassionate caregivers are here to bring you comfort, dignity, and peace of mind. Loved ones in home care, a helping hand when you need it. CT and Buick making their way off of runway 32 in front of us. They'll be taxiing down the line, and for those of you down to Airshow right, you'll actually get a chance to see these aircraft up close as they taxi by. With the engines going, and in some cases the canopies closed, they often won't be able to hear you, but they certainly will be able to see you, so be sure to wave your hands, wave your hats up high in appreciation for their outstanding performance here today. In just a moment, we're about to make things fast and furious as we welcome from your United States Air Force the F-16 Fighting Falcon, affectionately known as the Viper. Coming to us from Shaw Air Force Base of the 20th Fighter Wing in South Carolina, we're going to be tearing up the sky. It's now time that we turn things over to them. Please welcome the narrators for today's demonstration, Master Sergeant Deandra Baker and Technical Sergeant Josh Butcher.